Chairman. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We're going to take a roll call vote here on a roll call attendance here, starting with myself, Mark Allen. Hearing a terrible echo. I don't know why.
Yeah, someone needs to mute.
Brian Casper.
Brian Casper, voting member. Heyo.
Thank you so much. And Nori Gruden. Nori, if you could unmute yourself. You're unmuted now. All right, we'll come back to Nori. Stephen Rust. Oh, I'm sorry, Janet Evelyn.
Janet Evelyn, voting member.
Thank you so much. Stephen Rust.
Steve Rust, voting member.
Thank you so much. Elizabeth Cardiff.
Yes, voting member.
Okay. Thank you very much. Jolie Long.
Julie Young, voting member.
Okay, thank you so much. Melissa Matuska.
Melissa Matuska, voting member.
Okay. Kadeem Roberts. Kadeem Roberts.
Mark, did you get me? Kadeem Roberts,
Yeah.
voting member.
Okay, you're the only one that doesn't have an echo.
I muted everyone else, and now I think the echo's gone. So someone was causing. If you're not speaking, please stay muted.
Okay, very good. I got the on our agenda today is the Norwalk Film Festival, and I did not get the invite with enough time to invite them. I'm going to forward that to them now. Hopefully they can still come on. Just stand by 1 second, please. Okay, just a housekeeping note. Matthew Callahan has resigned his commission due to conflicts with his schooling. He's not going to be able to make any of the meetings, so he resigned and he sends his regards. We do need to, one of the things on the agenda today is voting on the MLK project. And what I would like to do is I would like to have a motion to adjust the agenda so that we can hear the MLK project at the top of the meeting. The reason being that Jolie is facing a similar school conflict and is only going to be here until 6:30. I want to make sure that we have a quorum to advance this project if it's so voted.
This is Melissa.
do we
I
have a
motion to adjust.
I'm sorry.
This is Melissa. I motion to adjust the meeting schedule.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Do we have a second on that motion? Anyone?
Second.
Thank you so much. We'll just take a quick roll call vote, starting with myself, Mark Allen, aye. Elizabeth Tardif.
Aye.
Jolie Long.
Aye.
Melissa, you motion, so that's an aye. Janet.
Aye.
Stephen.
Aye.
And Nori. Yes? Nori? Okay, so that's and Kadeem. That's a quorum. So we're going to hear from Lauren. Do we have Julio Pardo on the line today?
Yeah, where is he?
Hmm.
I'm not sure where he is because we emailed back and forth today to make sure that Lauren had an invite. So he did know that the meeting was held tonight. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, stand by a second.
I resent the invites about 10 minutes to 6 to everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah. Was he included in the email, the link email distribution?
He was actually because I asked him to forward his invite to me so I could see which account that we used tonight. So he forwarded his invite to me. So I know he got one.
okay, so, Brian, can you give
Do you
us,
want me to text him? I'll
that
text.
would be great. That would be fantastic. Brian or Janet, do you want to start us off with, for the commissioners as far as an update on where we are?
I'll let Janet take the lead on that.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
Let me just text Julio. Quickly here. Second. Where is he?
So just so everyone is aware, the items on the agenda that we're going to be considering is the two specific art installations, which are both for Lauren Clayton, and who was chosen through the vetting process and through the art selection process that Julio led, and the infrastructure committee weighed in on all of this. So I think actually, Brian, either Brian or Janet, I think it would be appropriate for either of you guys to speak as the infrastructure committee in terms of presenting, your findings and your opinion to the commission for consideration.
All right, so, this has been a long process, as everybody know. It started back last summer. It included a submission from a number of different artists for this MLK themed art, public art installation project. At the infrastructure meeting that we had, Julio presented a series of submissions that were submitted by various artists for the art installation project. We had gotten to the point where we had vetted location. We had gone through a number of the different submissions, and Julio had some recommendations that he shared and recommended to the infrastructure committee. We reviewed all of those recommendations in terms of artists, who the artists are. We review them in terms of price, cost considerations with regards to the existing budgets and how we could, and how they would, we would be able to appropriate the funding for each of them. The infrastructure committee meeting, I'm forgetting the date that was held, Brian. I think it might have been like a couple of weeks ago.
It was a week after the last NAC meeting.
So after consideration of Julio's recommendations, along with some questions that we had, again, with regards to cost, with regards to the artist, with regards to the various locations, the treatment of the art themselves in terms of the materials that would be used for them. I mean, how will those materials be maintained? I mean, and how those materials will work in terms of, the environment and weatherizations and things like that. So the infrastructure committee, which is made up of myself, Brian, Melissa is in that group. Bob Abriola is in that group, I believe. We loved the recommendations that Julio presented. We thought that, and in fact, after reviewing all of the submissions that were given, we thought that those really, in terms of like the originality, the creativity, the materials, and all of the aspects about those works were, we thought that were exceptional, and we as a committee agreed that we wanted to present those recommendations to our voting members that's here tonight for a vote to move forward on that project. So so that's what I know. And I also know that from that meeting, of course, Julio is to be on board tonight, answer any additional questions. And of course, we wanted to also have the artists that we just felt did such an amazing job of the submissions that that we selected. We wanted to have her present as well, so she could speak to us about her work, the ideas behind all of it, and then we could ask her any questions that we might want to do this evening. So that's where we are.
Has everybody had a chance to review the artwork in the agenda email that was sent out? I believe in the email that Maritza sent out, at the end of the email is both of the artworks that were pieces of art that were chosen. Did everybody have a chance to look at that? Anybody? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I know that the infrastructure committee, have reviewed it in detail. I'm not so sure about the other members of the other voting members of the group.
The thing is, I think that everybody really needs to take a look at your email, and at the end of your agenda are both pieces of art. I think for the members of the commission to vote on that, I think that they should see the artwork that's being considered. If everybody could open up your email, that would be fantastic.
Mark, I'm just pulling up the agenda now so I can display it for everyone.
Oh, thank you. Thank
I
you
was
so
gonna say,
much.
Lauren's raising her hand, and I'm sure she would love to screen share and probably talk through it a little bit.
That would
Yeah,
be
that's
great.
why I just figured I'd raise my hand. But yeah, I
Thank
do
you
have
very
a
much.
couple of slides to introduce myself, and thank you for having me. But I do have some slides which do also have images.
Okay, very good. Julio is about to join us.
Larry, would you like to give Lauren presentation? Would you like to give Lauren the presentation slide that she put up? That we emailed?
Yes, you want me to share it?
That would be great.
Yep, thank you. Okay. Can everyone see that?
Thank you. So let me know when it's fair for me to begin speaking.
Yeah, you could take us through. You could give us a little tour of your work here.
All right. Well, thank you again. Thank you, everyone. I am crazy flattered and honored to be a part of this project. I wanted to just introduce myself and share a little body of work and just kind of introduce myself as an artist from Stanford who also lived in Norwalk for about 10 years. And I'm also a business owner and graphic designer. all working with businesses and nonprofit organizations based in Fairfield County. So this slide is just an introduction to some of my work. Specifically, I have some really great connections with a lot of, I call it like my art family at the Mad Lab. Have showed for a number of years at the Sonoma Arts Festival, have showed as well at 22 Haviland Gallery when it was open. It was a beautiful gallery, as well as the Sidewalk Gallery, and am now a member at the Sono Spaces. So if we go, no, we lost the screen, but if we go to the second slide. Again, just wanted to give some sense of some works that I've worked on recently that are applicable to the work that I hope to be, obviously will be doing in the coming weeks. This is the letter L of Black Lives Matter mural that is currently in Stanford. I did it the first year, and then we had another refurbishment this year. So I was really honored to be a part of that project. That was a crazy great project too, because it included a lot of the community involvement, and it was more than just putting words on the street, but it was dialogue and regularly connecting with the people that were coming up to work actually on the mural with me. We go to the next slide. Here, just as a point of context, right down the street from where I will be working is a much smaller mural that was commissioned by the Blind Rhino, which is a restaurant. Each year they have the Sono Arts Festival kind of after party there. So I've joined myself, I think, as another amazing artist to paint each of the walls there in that space. If you go to the next slide. Here I just brought up an example of a staircase I designed for the Greenwich International Film Festival. In 2019, they commemorated their 5th year anniversary, and we went big with all of their graphics everywhere, which included a staircase in the Greenwich train station, the main staircase there. So the image on the left, depicts the conceptual idea, and the image on the right is working with a sign company to actually have vinyl decals that went on each of the stair treads. So if you go to the next slide, this is a recent project, just a few weeks old, that I did at Melissa and Doug. They commissioned me to work on this piece that is in their new headquarters. It's only but like two miles down the street, but it's a new headquarters, hasn't fully opened yet, but I was able to do this. This was a much larger scale mural and texture, essentially, texture painting on this large area within their headquarters. Go to the next slide. This brings us up to the current piece that I'm proposing. And again, I'm super flattered, and also, I don't know, really excited to bring this idea to life. I went to the actual space itself. Julio was great enough to send all of the artists of this space itself, but I wanted to have some sense of scale and context, and what was the environment like around this space. I had driven by it many times, but hadn't gotten a sense of what the actual space looked like. So went to the space, did a lot of photographs there, and superimposed my illustration on here. As you might have read from the brief, but the piece is called The Promised Land, and this is a homage to the idea that Martin Luther King had for the Promised Land. Was a sense of a place where we were not divided by our differences. We had empathy and respect, and a place where we lived much more in line with his doctrine. Specifically on this slide, and we can talk a little bit more about the sort of details, but just wanted to highlight that I do have broken out color palettes here, and they mimic certain colors that will then also be recommended to use in the staircase design as well. So the ones that are circular, those are similar colors, that they are the same colors, excuse me, that would be down the street in the staircase design. So if you can go to the next slide. Here I've just tried to break out the overall gist of how the project will run. It's a phases over a number of days. I'm proposing 5 to 9 days of creating this particular space. That includes time for cleaning up the debris, getting the space ready, priming the wall, painting the wall, and then very specifically to this particular piece, I thought it would be great to include a QR code that would go to a web page that would talk about the Dream Street project and the actual site-specific artwork. So that can be something I can happy to answer more questions about. But some ideas was just that, this piece lives. People are going to drive by it. People, are going to spend time around it. But, what if to give some context to it, I think would be really meaningful. If we go to the next slide, here again, obviously, is the staircase design. Was really excited to see this idea come to fruition, and just super stoked and really flattered that you guys agreed that this was worth putting out there. It reads, "Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the full staircase," the whole staircase, excuse me. I think part of my thought process in developing the first mural as well as this one is, Martin Luther King was known so much for, he's an icon and seen in so many different lights, but I wanted to extract a little bit of this messaging that is beyond some of his particular missions and just speak to the point that is much more encompassing of all of his ideas. It's just having this unwavering faith, this unwavering belief that we can move mountains with this belief. And then obviously something that is really site specific. You're going to have people that are going to be coming in and up and down the stairs that are going to the neighborhood right above. I have family that used to live right at the top of that staircase. And then they're coming down to the train station. They're sitting at the the stoplight diagonally across the street. So it's an opportunity to really be leaving a message with someone and hopefully something that they are thinking about once they even leave the space. Go to the next one. Again, this breaks down my proposed phases for this particular project. For this project, more specifically, some things that are a point of notice is that because it is a functional staircase, we need to break it out such that we're doing one side, letting it dry, working on the other side, and allowing obviously that foot traffic to be undisturbed. And then specifically because it is a high traffic area, or we would treat it as a high traffic area, that the paint is a little bit different. The paint is recommended to be a patio and floor paint that is specific to concrete. It is much more resilient to weather, UV, scuffing, mildew. So that's more specific to this particular space. I'm proposing to use the same paint at the other space as well for more, cost efficiency and just longevity. But that is very specific to this space, would not bend or anything on this specific space.
Hey, Lauren, those stairs are heated. So just when you're looking at the page, just, keep that in mind that those are heated stairs.
Nice.
And I don't know how hot they get, but they know they're heated.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, I do. I do remember that being a subject, and I will confirm that the material that I have proposed can weather that. But that's a really, really good point, and I'll make sure to confirm that.
Sabrina has also brought up in the past the issue that the Department of Public Works has with painting the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Just a note I want to mention, as long as we're mentioning notes, that it might be something that, they might not want you to paint them at all, just so you know.
Okay. All right, yes, these are all very good bits of information to know. Yeah, as it is proposed here, it is to do the risers and the treads. But, of course, be willing, the treads themselves is actually going to hold the message. The idea is to do, the actual space that you're stepping on with the extension of the letter, such that it's maybe creating a bit of an optical illusion. And then on the spaces where they're not, just a very simple pattern. But again, of course, respecting that, safety first, it's going to be heated. It's going to be something that people are going to be stepping on for many, many years. So, definitely need to make sure that we respect that. And that's it. The last slide is just me waving and saying hello. So I'm open and of course available to answer any questions. Of course, taking notes of these two particular points, but I'm here to answer any questions and just express my gratitude for your.
So Lauren, to be clear, you had shown an example of the staircase in the subway where they used vinyl, but this is definitely going to be a painted staircase, correct?
Correct, yes. In this particular situation, this was an indoor space and it was meant to be temporary. The goal for those particular stairs at the Greenwich train station for it to be there for 3 weeks. And that was leading up to the particular festival. So it was inside and temporary.
Okay, excellent. Does anyone here have any questions for Lauren about her design and about her ideas?
Lauren, can you just talk for 2 seconds about your idea for involving the community in the actual installation?
Absolutely. So for the staircase in particular, I also thought to keep the design relatively simple such that we could involve the community, whether it was a group of volunteers from a specific organization or if it was a group of students from a local school. But the idea to include members of the community, in some sort of managed sense, I don't think it is needed for a large group, but I do think it would be really cool to involve the community. And more specifically, the more sort of artist-specific responsibility will be to create all of the stencils such that it's there and it's almost like a come in, paint this color in this location, and it just lends itself to being more user friendly. The volunteers can participate but not feel like taxed that they could mess something up or ask too many questions, like that it could be fun and something that they feel like they were a part of.
And that's something you're going to organize, Lauren?
Mark, I'll jump in. This is Julio. Apologies for I was a little late, got caught in some traffic. Part of the job is going to be preparing the spaces. So there's going to be quite a bit of cleanup and priming these spaces. So I'm going to engage as many volunteers as possible in that. Try to get some people to help with the cleanup, and then obviously painting the base coat so that she can apply her art on top of that, and then ultimately putting the UV coating at the end. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to bring in volunteers. Obviously, some maybe will ask for artists or something like that in the beginning to help, say, prime the spaces, and then the actual color and things like that could be up to the discretion of Lauren.
Yeah, and I would say, it would be amazing to make the cleanup also even kind of special, because the space is, the staircase is really grand. It's like so captivating, and as it is now is a little bit kind of forgotten. Like there's some garbage on the side. There's leaves in the front. When I went there, it was a hot summer evening. And so it would be kind of cool to get the excitement just even around the project, to just even the cleanup phase, I think could be even something of a community building element.
Okay, excellent. Julio, as far as a meeting with the infrastructure committee, I know you guys had discussed the budget. Did you have any information for us on that? Or any agreements?
I do have a new budget with the new numbers in it. If you want to take a look at that.
I just think as far as for the commissioners here who are not part of the infrastructure committee, I just want to make sure that everybody has as much information as they need to feel confident in moving this forward.
With the actual voting, or with how the budget breaks down?
Just generally, because anybody who is not part of the infrastructure committee is just learning of this now, this work for the first time. So I want to make sure everybody, does anybody have any questions?
I can share the budget, and then maybe that'll be a good discussion.
Okay, that would be fine.
So can everyone see this?
I believe so.
Yes, all right. So kind of this is where we started with the budget, which was the 50K, which we had allocated 30K for the Artist Commission, 7.5K for the consultant. 1.5K community outreach, 2.5K artist stipends, and there was a student project as well as at 3.5K. Additionally, 5K in production costs, and this would be any sort of site staging, prepping materials for that, any sort of installation work to get the work ready to go. So that's where we started. Now we have more final numbers. This is as of September 21st. We have gotten the 2 locations. These are the 2 recommendations that you're seeing here. Location 1, pumping station, Wilson Avenue and MLK Boulevard. We're projecting that this project will come in as far as the artist fee at $10,750. Location number 2, the stairs at Madison Street, will come in at $15,750. Consultant still 7.5, community outreach at 1K, artist stipends 2K, and allocating 8,000 for the student art project. And then also keeping the production numbers still at 5K. So right now we have at the total of 50K.
Can you tell us about the student art project and what that is going to consist of?
Yes, I've talked to Duvian Montoya, and he is on board with pushing this project to the ADK Norwalk Arts Center. He will get an artist to teach it, where we will get students to create art for the traffic graphic boxes. We have 4, I believe, that are located, 4 that are being chosen now. I don't have final approval on those yet, but I have all numbers as far as what it's going to cost to produce it, and ADK is on board to make it happen. And that would probably be for delivery in November. And the way we figured would be the best way to do it would be for the students to create the project digitally, and then have it installed as a sticker that would be installed, so that just kind of minimize that handwork on site, just to make it as quick as possible.
So would that would be like a wrap?
Yes. And the idea here is that, you know, obviously these are UV coated and should weather any sort of, you know, any sort of weather that it gets. But the idea is that these would ultimately get replaced, whether it's 1 year or 2 years down the line, so that it would be an ongoing program that could be run through ADK.
Okay, do any of the commissioners have any questions or comments on this proposal?
Hi, Brian Casper. First off, Lauren, thank you for everything and your coming down on the budget and giving us a sort of a bulk discount. My question regards specifically to the student art project. Julio, can you speak to why you went from 3.5K to 8K in the student art project and what exactly that covers?
That covers basically the teaching artist, the plan, and certainly Duvian will kind of break it down. My sense is that, you know, we don't pay the student artists, is that we pay the teaching artist, and then the production money would go towards printing out the digital outputs, but most of that money would go to the teacher.
Thank you.
Leo, where will we source the student participants from?
This, you know, honestly, you know, Duvian has just kind of agreed to it, so he's going to put together a presentation to kind of talk through all that. More than anything, you know, I guess the information is that ADK has signed on to do this. The details I don't have at this time, but maybe for the next meeting, but just wanted to kind of let you know.
So just so everyone knows, just to be clear, the agenda pertains to advancing the 2 pieces for Lauren. It does not include advancing the student art project. So I would say Julio, if we can look to next month, since you're not going to complete this until November, I would say if you can come back next month with some more details on that, that would be very helpful to us.
Great, great. Also, Mark, and maybe I just need to share it at this time, but I did have a meeting with the MLK subcommittee where we shared this art, and we also shared the Celso piece. The infrastructure committee has seen this piece, which is a mosaic piece, and they sounds like they're going to put up the money to do the Celso piece. So just to let you know that that I think that we found the funding for that. But this specifically is about the two pieces that Lauren has presented.
Hey, Mark, this is Melissa.
Yes.
Hey, and I know that there's a lot of interest in time for some people to move things along as far as
Correct.
getting something done. Can I go ahead and make an motion to approve the two pieces, the promised land, and take the first step as far as getting those done? I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, thank you very much, Melissa. Can we unshare the screen? That would be very helpful if you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see everybody in black and white text.
All right.
Okay, very good. Okay, I'm going to take a roll call vote. Oh, just the chair, I want to just note for the record that Bob Abriola here has joined us.
Bob, we don't have a second.
Bob had come in after the roll call. I just wanted.
Yeah, well, I got in about 5 after, I think. 6
It's
after.
fine. I just wanted to note that you're here for the record.
Yep, thanks, Mark.
So to vote on this, I'm going to vote aye. Mark Allen.
Mark, there's a motion, there's not a second.
Oh, you're right. Do we have a motion on this? Second on that motion.
I second the motion.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Brian, for the correction. Okay, let's take a vote on that. I'm happy with both of these pieces, and I'm very happy with the artist. I'm going to vote aye, Mark Allen. Brian Casper.
Brian Casper, I'm pumped to have Lauren on board. Aye.
Janet Evelyn.
Aye.
Melissa Matuska.
Aye.
Elizabeth Tardif.
Aye.
Bob Abriola.
Aye.
Stephen Rust.
Aye.
Nori Gruden. No, give us a thumbs up, Nori. Awesome. Chair notes that Nori has voted in the affirmative.
Do you hear me now?
Oh, yes, we hear you now.
I've been playing with the Zoom audio. So that's what I have to be on. I have to be on magic sound.
Always fun.
Yes.
Thank you, Nori.
Oh, you're welcome.
Kadeem Roberts.
Hi, Kadeem Roberts. Very excited. This is not only going to be wonderful, but it's going to brighten up the downtown area. So this is lovely.
Thank you so much. Okay, the ayes carry, and congratulations, Lauren.
Congratulations, Lauren.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. I will not disappoint. I'm just, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm taking this project super seriously, and I know some creative people here in this square. And so to get, your approval as fellow creative people, this means the world to me. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Okay, we're relatively short on time, so we're going to jump back to the agenda. Just so Bob, just so you know, we had voted to move this up in the agenda because some people had to leave, but we did have a quorum, so we were good. So now we're going to get back to the. Do we have anybody here from the public who wishes to speak to the Arts Commission today?
No, I do not see anyone from the public. I don't know if anyone.
Oksana's here.
I see Oksana here.
Yes, I was invited. I received email to join the meeting, so I would love to get familiar more with the process. I never was part of these kind of organizations in Norwalk, so that's for me great experience, and see how everything is going on. Now I will be more informed for the future. And I do have some, I already proposed some offers and some projects for the committee last time. Unfortunately, I didn't have very good connection that time. So I would love to continue working with you guys and to do something for Norwalk, city of the Norwalk. And it could be either mural project, either my light installation managed by phone app and millions of the colors that can change during the night period of time. I proposed last time. I don't know if everybody saw it.
Oksana, what I was going to recommend for you, I don't know if you had a chance to meet Stephen, but Stephen is one of our commissioners who is a lighting professional. And he had actually come up with a proposal in years past for lighting the bridge over Washington Street. So you guys definitely have some things in common. I would definitely recommend you guys meet offline. And I think if you were to, come up with a working plan for your proposal, I think it would be great to have you come back and sort of present that officially.
Okay, that sounds good. I will get in touch. You say Stephen, what is his last name?
Rust.
Hello,
And he's-
Oksana. This is Steve.
Hi, Steve. So let's get
Hello.
connected. Yeah, so, and we can meet and we can discuss. And thank you for suggesting this. This is great.
And Oksana, if it's okay, I'll give Stephen your email and connect you guys, and then you can take it from there.
Yes, of course.
That'd
Thank
be
you.
great. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome. Do we have anybody here from the Norwalk Arts Commission, by the way? Anybody on the line? I'm sorry, from the Norwalk Film Festival? They were on the agenda and they were going to tune in, but I didn't see them come in. Larry, nobody else here, right?
No, there isn't, not that I can see.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on, we're going to get to we need to approve the minutes of the August 3rd meeting. As it was part of your email packet. Did everybody have a chance to review that? Did anybody have any questions or any sort of issues with that agenda, with those minutes?
Yeah, they list Janet Evelyn as the budget chair. It's just they have the last name wrong. It's Nori Gruden presented budget notes, not Janet Evelyn.
Okay, very good. So we'll have to make a note to amend that. Were there any other issues? Okay, in that case, do we have a motion to approve the minutes as noted, as would be amended?
I motion to approve the minutes as noted.
Thank you so
Brian
much.
Casper.
Do we have a second on that motion?
I'll second, Mark.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, with a roll call votes, Mark Allen, aye. Brian Casper,
Aye.
Stephen Rust,
Aye.
Elizabeth Tardif. Couldn't quite hear you there. Thank you so much. Nori Gruden,
Aye.
Melissa Matuska,
Aye.
and Kadeem Roberts.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Ayes carry, minutes are approved.
I didn't say aye.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Janet. It's Zoom is so hard. I apologize. Janet Evelyn, please.
Aye.
Thank you so much.
Evelyn.
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, can we have a update from the budget committee, please?
Yes, it looks like the expenditures for the Amazon tent is in here. Mad Labs booth payment for Michelle. The Nice Festival is in here. And let me just total everything up. So I guess we got, Sabrina purchased a tent for us.
Where's that tent going to be stored, Mark? Is that down in the city hall or?
Currently, it's at my office.
Okay.
So going forward, our total budget that's left is $12,418.81. And what I'll do is put this together and send everybody out an ongoing budget. That's a little bit cleaner to read. Because it's after the minutes,
Right.
but it's per category. So those were new expenditures for the month of August was Telesco, the Nice Festival, Michelle's salary, which she still hasn't charged us for the newsletter, Mad Labs thing here, and then for the tent.
Has the tent been accounted for at all?
Yes, it's under business expenses.
Okay.
Now, is the tent just a plain tent? There's no rating for
is.
our commission?
It is. It's just a plain tent, although Sabrina had created essentially a banner, what would be a step and repeat, although I have to bring it back to the printer. They're going to sew these special things on that will allow it to be operated with a stand as a standalone, but and that will come out of the budget as well. But I have not yet done that.
$207 for the tent. No, that's not too bad.
Yeah. Which would be, that would be a rental for one event. Just about. Okay, thank you, Nori. Anybody have any questions? Any other questions for the budget? Okay, moving on, the Communications Committee. I've been trying to have a meeting with the Communications Committee to no avail. Now, two members of, one member has stepped down, Matthew, Bob, you didn't hear, but Matthew Callahan has stepped down due to conflicts with school. Jolie is contemplating the same thing because she has now a conflict with her grad school. She would only be able to be here for a meeting from 6 to 6:30. So she is contemplating stepping down. We're going to see what happens with that. So really, I don't have too many members left of the Communications Committee, but be that as it may, I'm going to be meeting with Michelle early next week to talk about the newsletter and hopefully get that started. I really wanted to have that done so that we could announce the MLK project. So hopefully that'll happen soon. Anybody have any questions or comments about the communications?
Mark, if you need support from the city on the communications and the newsletter, just let Sabrina and I know, and we can help support that.
Okay, thank you so much. Brian, did you have anything else for Infrastructure Committee?
The only quick update I had was in regards to my pet project of trying to get all the underpasses painted. Sabrina had reached out to the Department of Transportation, state level, and gotten some information back in regards to what they expect and what they approve in regards to artwork on their property. And so simply put, it's relatively straightforward, and I think that it is moving forward. I will connect with Sabrina ideally before next month and come up with a little bit of a plan, mostly because our free public art space idea might just need a little finessing with language in terms of how because you still have to present some sort of proposal to the state in regards to what we are putting on their property, but I think it's possible. It's looking really promising. And like we said last meeting, the mayor's on board with all this, so I think that carries a lot of weight. So anyway, all that to say is that's really all I have to update everybody on, and that it's moving forward. If anybody wants to get involved in terms of just generally helping where needed, connect with me offline, offline on the internet. That's not Zoom. And we'll just keep it moving. If anyone has any specific questions, happy to answer, but I don't know if I have much more information.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brian.
Sure.
So I had heard from the folks from the Norwalk Film Festival. They thought the meeting was at 7, so we'll hear from them next month.
Mark, I'm here.
Oh, you're here, Jennifer. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, sorry. No, I apologize, everybody. I thought the meeting was at 7. I didn't realize the time had changed over the months to 6 o'clock, so.
Oh, very nice. So I'd like to introduce everybody. If you don't know Jennifer Bangsersch, she's been long a friend of the Arts Commission and former member. And she's here to talk to us about the Norwalk Film Festival.
Yeah, I won't take too much of your time since I rudely arrived lately, and I apologize for that. So we're really excited to be rebuilding the Norwalk Film Festival team to bring the second annual film festival to the city of Norwalk. And we have a new website, norwalkfilmfestival.org. We have calls for submissions out on Film Freeway, which is the portal for film festivals around the country, if not the world. We have over 100 submissions that have come into the Norwalk Film Festival portal for us to screen and judge. And we will be doing that and choosing films in a variety of narrative, short films, music videos, documentaries that fit the theme of the film festival, which is unity through diversity through film, reflecting the community of Norwalk. We have 4 leadership team members, and Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the past couple of months, we've added about 8 new members to our volunteer group, as well as members to our advisory committee. So there's really a strong interest from the community to see this happen again. The film festival will be happening the weekend of December 17th. The Wall Street Theater is our main venue. We will be looking to collaborate with some other community partners, such as the library, perhaps Norwalk Art Space, and others. We're very excited about this. We've been also working a little bit with the Bridgeport Film Festival that just happened in June to really pool our resources and our knowledge in these 2 urban centers in Fairfield County, which is really exciting. We're looking to raise money as a nonprofit, which is managed through the Norwalk Art Society, which is a 501c3 serving as the fiduciary for the Norwalk Film Festival until such times it's built a groundswell of support to apply for its own 501c3 status. And this is a nonprofit that exists just for this purpose. So is there any questions right off the bat before I go further, or?
No, you're free to continue.
Okay, we see this as a really dynamic synergy for the city of Norwalk, which is really, I see busting out a little bit, with some of the arts and culture activity that's happening in the city. And it's nice to add a multimedia mix such as a film festival. So, and I think the film festival will run Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll have panel discussions on different themes. One such theme might be the film festival arts contribution to the creative economy, and we'll bring in different points of view. We'll also bring in some of the folks from the Bridgeport Film Festival to talk about building a grassroots film festival. I think what differs from the Norwalk Film Festival than some of the other film festivals that we might see in Connecticut, whether it's the Ridgefield Film Festival or Greenwich or other, is the uniqueness of the city of Norwalk. And we represent so many demographics, so many populations. And I mean, I'm just telling you what you all know, that Norwalk is such a reflection of the state as a whole, if not the country. So I think we have a really unique population to hopefully tell its story through film, whether the films come from other countries or not. Some of the universal themes that will be explored definitely relate to the community. So we're looking to the Arts Commission to support us and sponsor us with a grant or whatever means that you currently have to help us make this happen.
So Jennifer, one of the things in our sort of our new guidelines is that we're not able to just give a sponsorship.
Okay,
There needs to be like a tangible exchange.
okay.
Is there, can you tell us about what the Norwalk Film Festival could do in exchange for a grant from the Arts Commission?
Absolutely. We will include the Arts Commission in all our promotional materials on our website, logo sponsorship. We will include the Arts Commission as a supporter in press releases that go out as we make news building up to the festival. We would love to have the Arts Commission represented perhaps on a panel, one of our panel discussions, a representative from the Arts Commission talking about how the mission of the Arts Commission ties to the work of the film festival. I think having the Norwalk Arts Commission as a community partner with the film festival helps unite the arts community very much in the city. And we definitely will make a seat at the table for the Arts Commission.
Hey, Jennifer.
Yep.
I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Melissa Matuska.
Hi.
Did we give a monetary gift last year? Do you remember?
There was no film festival last year due to the pandemic and a
The year
reorganization.
before, though? I feel like we did something.
There was an endorsement, but there was not a financial ask at that time. They
Okay.
were seeking the endorsement.
That's why I just wanted to know is what had been done in the past. Okay, thank you.
Right, we did not get any, as far as I know, any financial contribution in any form from the city. We had sponsorship in name and language, which was terrific. So I believe this is the first year we've asked for some funding or support in exchange of a working relationship with the Arts Commission.
Do you have your sponsorship deck that you can present?
We do. I think it's being put into we have it in, yes, we have it in PDF form. We're adding some kind of design elements. We have all the levels are all thought out. They range from, I believe, 100 to up to 2,500 for the more corporate sponsorship that we're looking to develop. And if there's anybody on the Arts Commission that really believes in the mission of the film festival and would like to help us with that, I can certainly get that document to the commission to share with the team.
The tax deductible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I just don't have it handy to do like a little show and tell with it tonight. But I can get that to you all as soon as, Mark can deliver that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other, so.
Is
Did you
there a
have-
website, Jennifer, where we?
Yes, norwalkfilmfestival.org. And there's also a Facebook page and Instagram and Twitter. And we've been active and working with, and the Wall Street Theater is, not only are they hosting us, they're a partner, so we're starting to really heavily promote for our submissions for films and October 1st. So that's what we've really been promoting is submit your film, share with filmmakers so we can really put Norwalk on the map in terms of the film community and get a lot of submissions, which we're really doing a bang up job about. So it's norwalkfilmfestival.org.
And the information to submit is there?
Yeah, there's a tab that says submit and it will take you right to the Norwalk, to the Film Freeway, which is the industry portal for film festivals, whether it's Sundance or Tribeca or Norwalk. That's where, and you can look at the marketing and the different levels of films that we're asking people to submit for. And we really, and there's also a lot of, when you submit for a film, there's a fee to submit your film, but we're waiving fees for certain topics that are important to Norwalk because we want these people to have an opportunity to have their voice told. So filmmakers will submit their film and kind of send us an email about their film and ask for a waiver if it's appropriate. So that's a really nice opportunity because filmmakers, they're submitting to all kinds of festivals and it gets very expensive for them. And we would really love to get these new filmmakers opportunities to just tell their stories and make it really accessible. It's really important, especially for those stories about diversity and marginalized communities and so on and so forth. So we really, that's a real priority, is to make the film festival accessible to filmmakers. Yeah.
Hey,
And then-
Jennifer,
yeah.
it's, Bob Abriola. FTC, the Fairfield Theater Company, has a film I don't know if it's a series or they do quite a bit of film events there at the theater. And I don't know, but there, it might be an opportunity to have them participate or help or do something or be.
Yeah, I know all the people down there. I've worked with them for a long time. They do screenings, like they'll have a film night on Monday night. They might have an adventure film.
Yeah.
They've screened some films related to refugees, and they've used film screening as fundraisers for other nonprofits as well. The issue with Fairfield, the Sacred Heart University, as many of you may be aware, bought the old community theater there, and they're creating a whole film center with the backing of this, and they're partnering with FTC. So it's kind of a different, I don't want to say they're competitive, but it's a different model, I think, than what we're doing in Norwalk. But I'd certainly be happy to reach out to them. I know John Reed really well, the artistic director, and let him know what we're doing, for sure.
They have actually a gentleman, his name escapes me, but he heads up that whole film, home film. I mean, John's the executive director over the whole thing there, but there's someone that actually heads up the film group. So I don't know, I'm just trying to think of ways to help you, other groups.
Yeah, definitely. What we find in value is with the Bridgeport Film Festival, which is really exciting, is that they just had their first year. There's a lot of similarities in the populations that we serve in Bridgeport and Norwalk. And there's some interest in long-term down the road, building kind of a collaboration with these urban centers in Fairfield County. And there's talked to some people at the Fairfield County Community Foundation about this concept. And it's a way, possibly, we can imagine it and make it happen, right? To bring some unity in our urban centers in Fairfield County. So the relationship with Bridgeport is interesting. Not to skip over Fairfield at all. I'm not saying that at all, but I just think, given the mission of the Bridgeport Film Festival and Norwalk, we're very aligned.
All good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
So I think that, I mean, not to speak for everybody else, but I think that certainly endorsing the Norwalk Film Festival would be certainly in our interest. I would say, in terms of if there is a specific ask, maybe if you can, in terms of a specific ask, if you could sort of send the sponsorship deck so that I could send that to all the commissioners to consider, because I think in terms of a financial grant, I think there would have to be a specific amount and an understanding of what the tangible exchange is.
Absolutely, we could do that. We can absolutely get that to you for you to distribute. Not a problem. Happy to. We're excited to share. So, yeah.
Any other questions for Jennifer? Any other comments?
Date, Jennifer? Like, is there a date set? Maybe you already said it. I don't know.
Yeah, the weekend of December 17th.
December 17th. Okay. Where do you have it?
I'm sorry?
Where is it? Where's it
the main venue will be the Wall Street Theater, and there'll be a satellite use at the library. We'll screen some films, possibly some other venues. We're looking, part of what makes a festival is it's often, when it gets some legs, is at multiple venues. We're small and tiny, and we're really lucky to have the support of the Wall Street Theater as a place to house it. But we're open to ideas and how to build this out, for sure. But the Wall Street Theater has committed this space to us Friday, Saturday, and probably the library on Sunday or something like that. Yeah.
Well, renovating the Garden Cinemas and buying that building.
Well, see, this is where you start to build the creative economy, right? You kind of plant some seeds, build your community, reach out to your stakeholders, get the key sponsors, right up front, and hopefully, yeah, why not, right? Why not?
Mark, so what's going on with that building? I think you knew the latest on that one.
Yeah, I have no comment on the record.
Yeah.
I'm gonna paint it.
Yeah, so look at the Norwalk Film Festival. We could reactivate or activate the film community in Norwalk. And we know that there are so many interesting creatives here in Norwalk that just we haven't uncovered, right? Including the film industry. So
Yeah.
this could be a really exciting opportunity. Being so close to New York and and given the makeup of Norwalk and people, I worked with, and I know Mark has, Nancy Diamond, who was running her Shortcut Film Festival at the Norwalk, at the Garden Cinema for years. She's now brought it over to the Westport Library, which is where I work. But one of the things that the Norwalk, these are Tribeca Films shorts that she was bringing to the Garden Cinema. And she had told me what the filmmakers, they really like the grit of Norwalk, and I thought that was really interesting. So, I mean, grit is not a negative. It's not a negative thing. To me, it means diversity and people really in the trenches making things happen. And there's opportunity for creativity and newness. It's not all shined up, there's entry points. So
there actually is quite a lot of film production that happens in Norwalk, as I've gotten deeper into working. Just full disclosure, I'm working with Jennifer on the committee for the film festival. There's just a tremendous amount of film production going on in Norwalk.
There's a lot of freelancers in production and film that might live here but might work in the city or work in different communities, but we want to untap those people and get them involved or get them to come see what we're doing. So again, I'll send the deck to Mark to distribute, and check out our website, norwalkfilmfestival.org, and let us know if you have any ideas or know anybody who'd like to be part of our advisory or volunteer team. We'll need help at the actual festival, right? Taking tickets and all that kind of stuff, which is real community work. So lots of good stuff to come.
There's that photo studio there on Wall Street. That's amazing. I don't know if anyone has seen it. It's a Jason Milligan building. Mark Allen, I don't know if you've seen it.
Juice something.
Juice, yep.
Yeah, Space 67. They've signed on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That place is amazing. They should be a part of what you're doing, Jennifer.
One of their marketing team members is on our volunteer board.
There you go.
We're already fully connected with them, and they're really dynamic, and their space is pretty cool. But thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're on the right track with where we're going with this.
Trying to help.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Again, I apologize for my disruptive dropping in, but
No, I'm glad you're here.
yeah, okay. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Bye.
The only other item on our agenda was discussing the maintenance costs of public art in the city. That was an agenda item that Sabrina brought to me as something that we should be discussing in the future. I think Norwalk has a great history of creating art, not a great history of maintaining art. We want to make sure that we have a policy and really just, we're trying to move into a posture where we're all about process. We want to really have a bulletproof process for creating art, commissioning new projects. MLK is proof that we're headed in the right direction. But as we move forward, we want to make sure that we always maintain the art that we have. So I'm going to defer to Sabrina next month when she's back from vacation. But just so you know that that's something we're going to need to discuss in the coming months, weeks.
We should put in a budget, Mark, like get ahead of the curve, like for next year, if we want money towards that or something.
I totally agree. I agree, because we certainly don't have the budget, and we don't have the budget to support the maintenance of all the public art in the city. But some of it will get maintained, say, by the Parks Department. If there's art in the city park, it would be up to them to maintain it. But as far as policy and a sort of an understanding for the city, that's where we're really going to come into this. Is really just figuring out what is the right, the policy for maintenance. Jessica, do you have any input on that?
No, Mark, I don't right at the moment, but I think we can talk about it offline with you and Sabrina and I, and then we can bring some ideas back to the Arts Commission next month.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
I think this is Melissa Matuska. I think one of the things I'd like to add is that we should really get a hold of our inventory before, to make that part of this process. So that way we understand what kind of maintenance would be required with our existing inventory.
Yeah, for sure.
That is one of the infrastructure subcommittee's many tasks. Yes.
Yeah, it's a big thing. I mean, I have proposed personally, when I was doing infrastructure, there's public art that's sort of it's all owned by the city, right? But there's public art that is controlled by the Arts Commission. Then there's public art that's controlled by the Historical Commission. There's public art really all over Norwalk. It isn't all, but when we talk about the public art collection, we're only really talking about that which the Arts Commission controls. And I've always thought that that's kind of a bit silly. To me, it seems like the public art collection should be all of the art that's owned by the city of Norwalk, regardless of which entity supervises or controls it. And I discussed that idea with David Westmoreland at one point, and his visceral reaction was, well, you're not trying to take away the art that we control at the Historical Commission. I was like, no, I don't want to take it away from you. I just want it to be all accounted for as city-owned public art, if only so that it can be all shown, because you don't realize how much public art the city of Norwalk actually owns. Now, I'm not just talking what's outside in the street. I'm talking what's in storage in various galleries and various offices all over the city. We have public art, and I think that just from a city perspective, seeing this all as the public art collection, I think it allows us to really show off to the public how much art we actually have and why we're such an important city of the arts. That's my contention.
I think that's a great idea, Mark. I mean, I would love to know all of the public art that we have in the city in one place. And I think having it in one place would be great.
Well, I don't know about one physical place, but I think when we talk about having it like our public art collection exists as like a spreadsheet, as a database, and that's a great start. But I feel like it should all be on a website. It should be like, you should be able to go into the city website and see the public art collection, and for visitors coming from out of town, for them to understand how much art there is to see and experience in Norwalk. Right now, you would have to go to the AutoCast app to see part of it. You'd have to go to the Historical Commission's website to see part of it. You'd have to go to, well, the Arts Commission, we don't have anything published, but in theory, there really is no one digital archive of all of this stuff. And that, I would love to see that created. I don't know how many years that would take to create, but I think that's where we need to head.
Maybe a committee to do it, to work on it?
Yeah, Brian.
Well, it's supposed to fall under our jurisdiction as an infrastructure committee, and we brought it up at a couple months back, but it got kind of put on hold to work through the MLK stuff. But yes, it's something that I want to bring back up because it is something that needs to be done. I agree with Mark.
Right.
I mean, Sabrina had said that, she thought that this was like, it would be necessary to hire a consultant to really tackle this. That would be probably beyond the, the time constraints that we all have as volunteers.
And that's a massive undertaking for sure. I mean, to catalog everything. So yeah, we talked about paying someone to do it. So we should probably put it on the docket for consideration and voting. And you got to start by getting an inventory.
Yeah, so I think that would probably be like the next fiscal budget is at this point, but I'd love to keep that conversation going. Any other old business? Anybody have anything else before we move to adjourn?
Mark, can I just add in about the MLK corridor and the mural, the tile mural that you were talking about that Julio was updating you on?
Mm-hmm.
Just wanted to let you know that the MLK corridor group is going to meet tomorrow to look at all of the subcommittee recommendations and priorities. And as you know, the Mlk Corridor initiative received $3 million from the state, and we're focused on public arts, tree plantings, infrastructure and housing, as well as some other focus areas like solar lighting and cameras as well. So that's that group. The larger group is going to meet tomorrow to discuss the priorities overall and to go through all of the lists of the subcommittees. So once we are able to meet, we'll be able to have an update for you for next month as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, do we have, if there's nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
A motion to adjourn.
Thank you so much. Do we have a second on that motion?
This Melissa. I second this Melissa.
Okay, I'm going to vote aye to Bob Abriola.
Aye.
Brian?
Aye.
Thank you, Brian. Nori
And maybe a
Gruden?
trophy for Lauren for
Aye.
staying for the meeting the whole
Janet Evelyn?
Aye.
Kadeem Roberts?
Aye.
Okay, and Elizabeth, you motioned, so that will take that as an aye. Thank you, everybody. Melissa Matuska, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your time. Thank you for staying late.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
Thanks, Lauren. Good
when I
job.
receive the information from the Norwalk Film Festival, I'll send it to you guys. And Jessica, if you could follow up with me about the MLK project, I'd appreciate it.
Absolutely. Happy to do that.
All right, everybody, have a great night, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good night.